Evening people, welcome back to the channel. How are we all doing? So tonight we're back, CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup, hosted by TANSO Racing Group. Go check them out on Facebook. We are live for round 9 from the streets of Willow Springs. Sorry, Pete, I didn't see you there. Didn't mean to laugh. Streets of Willow Springs. So this circuit is a circuit you won't have seen much. I've not seen it in any race series, so yeah, good luck to the drivers. Good luck to the drivers. We'll see how everyone gets on. Right, so round 9, CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Let's go and have a look at some scores. So, leading the way after Brands Hatch last week, Blackwell 411 on 261 points. P. Gibb in second. He is on 254 points. Dan KBL third with 237 points. Rob Scott in fourth with 224 points. Cutler 182 fifth with 202 points. Obi-Wan in sixth with 200 points. D.90 in seventh with 156 points. Pajonsky in 8th with 128 points. Luke Doherty with 115 points in 9th. Graham Reed's 10th with 82 points. 1 second, where has that gone? Where have you gone? There you are. And we just move down to the lower half. We've got Chanel with 66 points. In 11th, Rick 2 in 12th with 64 points. RA320 13th with 46 points. Ghost Realm Gaming in 14th with 34 points. And TRG Gaz just 2 points on the board. So that scores up until now. Let's get ourselves on this track and see who's doing some off-roading first. So yes, it's a circuit that the drivers won't know very well at all. Who have we got in? So 12 drivers, okay. Let's turn the usual stuff on. Pajonsky. Right, let's just stick with Pajonsky. He's just coming around these last couple of turns. And then we'll go for a little bit of an onboard lap if he stops out. Straight away. So this is the start-finish straight. Peeling up here through the little right-hand kink and into the almost right-hand hairpin. Oh, I've got to be so careful. So the drivers aren't going to know braking points. Getting there, practicing. There's a few complaints in the chat. Not complaints, but like, oh my God, which circuit? Oh no. There's a few of those going on. Andre, evening, brother. How you doing? Did you used to race in the minis? Oh, we've got some off-roading going on there. Is that P. Gibb? I couldn't quite see who that was. So I'm not even talking around this track because it's just left, right, squiggle. Oops, got it wrong in the dirt. Luke just proving me right there. Back in the dirt, and off he goes. So down this reasonably long straight, you can see just jinks left and right, hard on the brakes into these last few turns. You can see all the cones there. They've changed the variant of this track so much. Very difficult to remember this little awkward circuit that people don't drive very often. So there's a lap on board with Pajonsky, but holding top spot at the minute is P. Gibb. He's got himself a 117, 142. Yeah, man, it has been a long while, Andre. So P. Gibb on that 117.1, Pajonsky 117, 197, so nothing in it between those two. Dan KBL, again, just a tenth back. He is 117, 287. Rob Scott is 117.5, fourth position at the minute. Obi-Wan, he's just been pushed down to 6. He's actually just gone quicker. Blackwell 411, current championship leader, 116.8 for Blackwell. So Pete Gibbonski, Dan KBL, Rob Scott, TRG Obi-Wan 6, 117.7. Graham Reed 7th, 118.0. D-Dot in 8th, he's on a 119.2. TRG Rick 2, he's on a 120.4. Luke's in 10th. Oh, no hot lap on the board from him. Was it Sir Eye Candy that was off track earlier? Looks like some pad action going on there. So I don't know whether Sir Eye Candy is meant to be in this lobby. He's meant to be on the track, but he's not doing very well at that at the minute. I'm not calling him out over any other drivers. Everyone's doing a little bit of that off-roading. So Blackwell on that 116.8 then. Can anyone top that? P. Gibb trying to test that off-roading capabilities. I know on the flyer he's the guy taking off. So I just didn't know whether he was going to try that again. The same circuit as well, not the same circuit, but the same location, Willow Springs. Different variant of this track though. So Johnsky still on that 117.1 for lap 2. Dan KBL also still lap 2. Obi-Wan going quicker though. He's got a 117.4 in for 5th. Pushes Rob Scott out a little bit. Luke Doherty's got himself a score on the board now, 117.9. So 7th position and a handful of dirt. Graham Reed still on lap 2. Cutler, no score on the board. And off track. Going to see a lot of that tonight, people. There you go. Rick 2. He's gone a little bit quicker, 120.4 on that lap 4 there. Sticks himself in 11th. Sarai Candy, 137. Maybe not the track you want to be learning to race on. See how he gets on through this fast section. Oh, steered far too much through there. Maybe just learning the ropes. Sir Eye Candy. A few cones being launched already. Drivers getting it wrong. Thrashing that little mini about. Dan KBL just going quickly there, 116.8 on lap 6. Pushes Pete Gibb down a spot. He's on an out lap, fresh set of tyres. Go Dutchy guy. What, the Dutchy guy? I do like the fact he's covered in a great big Union Jack. I think he's listening to you, Rick. Andre, he's going to chat back. No, he's not. So 10 minutes into quali, Blackwell's still leading, still on that lap 2 as well. Oh. You people can't see that, but I was just saluting Blackwell because he was off into Netherrealm. His internet connection's not looking good. And KBL also out on a new set of tyres as well. P. Gibb holding that third, lap 2. Rob Scott just regaining that 4th position back, 1:17.4. There's someone doing something in the background. All I can hear is tyre squealing. Obi-Wan in the pits, trying a fresh set of boots, trying to go quicker. Luke Doherty's made himself a position. He's up into 6th, but it's not leaving the lobby, people. Not leaving the racetrack. Graham Reed still on lap 2, 1:18.094, 7th. Cutler just gets himself back on track. So, what's he? Half a second back from Graham. Graham's on a 1:18.9, so Cutler's on a 1:18.5 then. 0.9 for Graham Reed, apologies. So D-Dot 1:19.2 for him. TRG making up a position. He's 1:19.3 on lap 8. Goes already above Sir Eye Candy. Pajonski's dropped himself out. He needs to get himself back in the lobby and across the first checkpoint. Otherwise he's going to lose his position. Just looking on the mini-map, the guy just coming around the very top hairpin is jinking all over the place. I can imagine that is Blackwell 411. Yep. Mrs. is ordering stuff on Amazon while watching Netflix. And that's the result. That's you that's taking out the cones, is it? I hope you're putting them up before you leave tonight. I'm not doing it. TRG. Gibb then just in the pits at the end of this qualifying. 13 minutes gone, 2 minutes remaining. Rob Scott holding 4th. Obi-Wan 5th. Doherty 6th and off-roading. How do you get it off track there, Luke? It's a straight. Intriguing. Graham Reed 7th then. Unable to beat that second lap of 1:18.9. Cutler still 8th. D-Dot still 9th. Nobody really changing positions at the end of this one. Pajonski's still in the pits. He still needs to think about getting himself out the pits and across that first checkpoint. Oh, he's gone. You tell me. There he is. He's back. Yeah, Blackwell's got a bit of lagging. Yeah, hopefully you lot are telling him to turn his missus' phone off or something. Stop the dog watching YouTube. We're on board with him now. We'll shame him a little bit. Zach Blackwell 411. Come on. Although, you know, we're on board with him. He's not glitching so much. Maybe he's yorked out the mini window as he's driving past the pits. Putting in purple sectors again right at the end of quali. He might be able to better that 1:16.8. Almost off track. What for shouting at his missus? Going past the pits. How does he get on through this last little section? Doherty just getting himself back on track in the background there. Blackwell trying to get down the inside of D-Dot. Can he better that time then? He's been pushed down to 3rd. Rob Scott and Dan KBL have gone quicker. Sneaky. 1:18.408 then for Dan KBL. Rob Scott has put in a 1:16.687 while we were on board with Dan KBL. While we were on board with Blackwell, shaming him out. P. Gibb off-roading. Hey, you stop, Pete. Stop it. Stop going for thumbnails. Or the crowd, whichever it is. So 15 minutes quali is over. You should get to finish these laps. And then we jump into a 15-minute race. Medium tyres only for quali and race 1. Johnski only just keeping on track through there. And then we jump into reverse grid race 2. Half an hour. Same circuit. So we are going to see a lot of position changes. We are going to see a lot of people off track. We're seeing people off track, but they're just parking up while we wait for this race to start. Johnski, how did you get 3 seconds penalty? So Dan KBL holds on to pole position. But Rob Scott is going to be second. Blackwell 411 backwards to finish that one off in third. P. Gibbs going to take fourth if he can get back on the track. Have you just done a lap off-road, Dev? Johnski 5th, TRG Obi-Wan 6th, Luke Doherty 7th, Graham Reeds 8th, D. 9th, Cutler 10th, TRG Rick to continue 11th, so I Candy in 12th. Have we lost someone? No, there was 12 drivers, that's right. Right, half an hour around this squiggly, dusty circuit. Well, it could be Dakar in a minute, Andre. Keep your eyes open. Who knows? Give me a better view than that PlayStation. Well, I suppose that's slightly better. So, wait for them to launch off. Hopefully, they all make it around turn 1 cleanly. Turn 1 is only a little right-hand kink, but... So, hooking the inside already then. Rob Scott trying to pressure him around the inside. Let's just keep our eye on everybody. Through there cleanly, amazing. So, Dan leading. Nobody fired themselves off track just yet. That is going to be the first thing that happens. So I Candy's still on circuit as well. A little bit far back at the minute, but catching up. Rob Scott and Blackwell 411 side by side down this back section. This could be tricky. Blackwell just carrying the speed through there. Has he carried too much? No, he hasn't. P. Gibb, Pajonsky in the background. Pajonsky just going a little bit wide. P. Gibb carrying a bit more speed than him. Slots himself back up into fourth. See those wiggles, all that dirt and dust being kicked up. Doherty's got himself a penalty. He's trying to lose. Dan still leads. Blackwell second. Rob Scott third. P. Gibb fourth. Pajonsky in fifth. Luke Doherty sixth. Graham Reeds 7th, TRG Obi-Wan coming down the inside there though. Does he get it? Graham Reeds, was it? Has he gone? He's off track, just getting himself back on in 11th behind D-Dot. Where were we? P. Gibb, Luke Doherty we'd seen. Obi-Wan getting himself up into 7th, then Cutler in 8th. Luke 2 in 9th, D-Dot 10th. Graham Reeds 11th, 2.3 back. Coming back on track. Sarai Candy another 3.7 back in 12th. So Blackwell taking that second position, closing back up on Dan. Starting to pile some pressure on him. Can he put pressure on him into this awkward little section at the end? Both drivers getting it right through there. Rob Scott doesn't. He's what on earth? It's not Mario Kart. Things like that. There'll be bananas next. He's gone deep through there as well. Luke Doherty's managed to slot himself through, so Pajonsky getting caught up in that a little bit. Luke Doherty getting himself through to fourth. Pete Gibbs got himself up into third. Luke Doherty under pressure from Pajonsky, coming back at him into the hairpin. He's got the inside line, but can Luke carry? No, Luke's driven himself off track. no contact there, and he's just driven himself into the dirt. Now we'll be under pressure from a returning Rob Scott and an Obi-Wan. That is actually kicking off in the background. It's a four-way fight here. Obi-Wan, Luke Doherty, Rob Scott and Cutler battling it out for 5th at the minute. Rick 2 just bolted himself on the back end of this fight. So awkward little circuit to overtake on. Blackwell 411 remains in 2nd, tucked in behind Dan KBL. Started to pull a gap over P. Gibb. He's still under a bit of pressure from Pajonsky. Keep those wheels off the sand, P. Gibb. Top 4 then, started to pull a bit of a gap. Obi-Wan in 5th. Hotly chased by Rob Scott and Luke Doherty for that position. Cutler's just dropped a little bit. All drivers getting a little red mark above their name by the looks of things. Rick 2 clean in 9th. D-Dot 10th. Also no penalties at the minute. Graham Reed's 11th. So closing that gap back up on D-Dot. He's only less than a second back now. Be able to make some positions up before the end of this race. 50 minutes for this first one. Let's go and have a check out on Sir Eye Candy. 14.2 seconds back. Struggling a little bit with this Mini around this tight little dirty circuit. Still out front then, Dan KBL. Blackwell 411. So quick through that awkward section, you've got to get that one right. We've seen Rob Scott do some bunny hops through there, right over the top of P. Gibb. Chonsky still not managed to get that position off him either. So Rob Scott back up into 5th. What's happened to Obi-Wan? He's gone all the way down to 8th. Bit of off-track action for Obi-Wan. Losing a penalty. Overtaken by Rick 2 and D-Dot while he drops that. So he's got to get himself back in this fight pretty quickly. Graham Reed's right involved in this as well now. So Eye Candy just losing a little bit more time. Dan KBL and Blackwell still bolted together around this awkward circuit. Oh, Dan's run a little bit wide. Blackwell runs down the inside of the hairpin. Could do nothing but take that position. Pete Gibb, so what's he now? 1.6 back from Dan KBL. Still got Pajonsky pretty close. Just over half a second back for Pajonsky. Oh, Pete Gibb just sticking those wheels on that sand. Losing a bit of time through there, Pajonsky. Gap to over a second then between 3rd and 4th. Pete Gibb having a real good run through there, closing up on Dan KBL, so less than a second between 3rd and 2nd now, just in the slipstream range. Not many places to grab a toe here. Pajonsky closing back in. Rob Scott now 3.1 seconds back for 5th. Cutler 6th now, up to 2.3. Rick 2 continues 7th. D-Dot 8th. Obi-Wan losing another position down to 9th. Luke Doherty, sorry, just been overtaken by Graham Reed. So it looks like Luke Doherty's been, well, he'd already sent him off at the hairpin, sent himself off at the hairpin. Oh, and he's off track there as well, Luke. Maybe race 1 is all about just taking out as many cones as possible for Luke. Get himself involved in race 2. And so Eye Candy, looks like he might be done with this race. No fuel or tyres going in. So Blackwell 411 pulled a bit of a lead. 1.9 seconds over Dan KBL. So he's coming. Oh, Pajonsky's got a little bit of glitching going on. Oh, his car is very, very broken. He's still in touch with P. Gibb. Rob Scott is actually starting to close that gap back up. 7 minutes remaining. We have a glug of coffee, people, before it goes cold. Get ourselves on board with this leader, Dan Hill, then he's got himself back past 4-1 must have gone off track. He's now under pressure from Pete Gibb. Going to get that with the coffee. Three wide on the exit of the hairpin. 3 wide, you maniacs. 3 wide still. Ooh, who's going to make this one? Blackwell's still got the advantage just. So holds on to second. Johnski making the best of that. He's slotted himself through into third. Pete Gibb down to fourth. So looking for second, now fourth. Bit of work to do. Rob Scott then closed that gap up a little bit more, 1.6 seconds down. So the top 5 just starting to bunch back up. And KBL has pulled a bit of a lead from Blackwell 411. If we just have a look up there, 1.3 seconds the gap he's now got. But we have been on board with Blackwell 411 and he had 1.9 second lead, so anything's possible. Still kicking off just behind there with Johnski and Pete Gibb. Pete Gibb wants that third position back. So the championship leader's closest rival at the minute is Pete Gibb, looking for as many points as possible. Let's put a little bit of a buffer between himself and Rob Scott as well, who's still closing that gap, 1.1 seconds. Gap developed back to 6th place. Cutler 4.9 seconds back. Two in 7th. D-Dot pretty close behind. Less than a second for D-Dot. Obi-Wan still 9th. Graham Reed's 10th. Luke Doherty now sitting the end of this race out. Looks like we've lost Sir Eye Candy. Still pretty close between these guys. He says Johnski just goes a little bit wide. He's got Pete Gibb side by side. Wasn't able to carry the speed through there though. Rob Scott is right on the back end of this third position fight. There's first and second kicking off in front. Blackwell's looking for that first position back. 4 minutes remaining. Let's just jump into a bit of this cam, we can see a tiny bit more. Pete Gibb's going to look to try and go around the outside. He's almost run himself off track though. Tries to come back across to block the attack from Rob Scott. But now under threat for that 4th position. Rob Scott's done a good job closing that gap back up. You can just see how bumpy and dusty and awkward it is. Closing that gap right back up on Johnski though, almost taking his rear bumper off through there. He's gone deep again a little bit. Rob Scott follows him through, does get a good drive out though. Is it enough? Is it enough to hold the line into turn 1? Slings one up the inside, as does Rob Scott. Not chucked himself off track either, so Johnski's gone from 3rd to 5th. Pete Gibb and Rob Scott slotting themselves through. What is happening up front? Blackwell 4-1 picking up a penalty. Dan KBL now in 2nd, 1.4 seconds back. Similar sort of gap between himself and Pete Gibb. 1.3 seconds between 2nd and 3rd. Pete Gibb's still got half a second over Rob Scott. Johnski's managed to pick himself up a penalty and lost a lot of time to 4th place. Rob now 1.7 seconds back. Cutler, oh, I was just going to say Cutler was a few seconds down there. He's just a few more seconds down. 8 or so seconds, and then we're just sort of driving off track. Came back on track, unfortunately. A little bit of bump up the rear from D-Dot, put him back off track. Don't think there's anything D-Dot can do about that. So Cutler now down in 7th, under pressure from Rick 2. Rick 2 almost off track as well. He's now under pressure from Obi-Wan for that 8th position. Kicking off in this last lap. Oh, nice tight line there for Rick. TRG boys having a little bit of a coming together. Graham Reed's in 10th. Luke Doherty, yep, not finishing that one off. So Blackwell, 1 minute 31 left on the clock. Should just see another lap. Well, it will, there's only 1 minute 18. So 1.8 second lead over Dan KBL. He is now under all sorts of pressure from P. Gibb and Rob Scott. I think let's get ourselves on board with Rob Scott, looking to attack both of those drivers. Can he slingshot himself past like he did before? P. Gibb's in a very good position though. Rob Scott closes up. Dan's gone a little bit deep there, but there's nowhere for P. Gibb to go. See if he gets the better line through here. Rob does. P. Gibb takes a nice wide line. Dan takes the same line. Can he use the toe? Rob Scott's closed that gap up again a little bit. Dan goes defensive. He's going to make P. Gibb run around the outside. Up into this hairpin. Oh, what's happened? Where have you gone, P. Gibb? P. Gibb then pushed down to 4th. Rob Scott slotting himself through. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get it done. Oh, and he's driven himself off track. That is going to allow P. Gibb to come through. It's going to allow Pajonski to come through. Rob Scott back on track. He's now got 23 seconds over Rick to continue. What's happened to Cutler? Cutler now down in 10th. So, yeah. Oh, we just saw him get tangled up with D-Dot, didn't we? So, final lap. 3.4 second lead then for Blackwell 411. Into this last few awkward turns. Can he keep it clean through here? Don't want to sling it away on these last couple of turns. Takes it nice and calmly. P. Gibb and Dan KBL still bolted bumper to bumper. So Blackwell takes the win. Dan KBL takes 2nd. P. Gibb takes 3rd. Pajonski is going to take 4th. Rob Scott, unfortunately, 5th place for him. Graham Reeds gets through to 6th place, pretty much running round at the back for most of this race, but yeah, with a circuit like this, anything's possible. It is a mental track, Luke. 6th place for Graham then. D-Dot takes 7th. Cutler 8th. Rick 2 in 9th. Oh, Rick, you managed to make yourself make your way up the pack as well, but lost it a little bit. So Rick 2's going to take 9th. Luke Doherty 12th. Who else will be 10th? Who else will be lost? So we lost to Eye Candy. It's got a little fight up front. That was quite amazing. You saw it like I did then. He just Mario Karted it over the top of you, yeah. Can I suggest dirt tyres, Pete Gibb? So who else did we lose? Lost Eye Candy and an other. Dirt tyres might be an option here, P-Gib. Jack the suspension up. Fit some wide arches. Johnsky obviously wasn't struggling with the weight. He's just popped up in the chat there. I can't be struggling with the weight. Bunny hopped over the top of P-Gib. So, a few more minutes. And then we jump into reverse grid race 2, half an hour. Strategy a little bit different, as P-Gib just saying there. So different tyres available now for race 2. Fuel will play a big part as well. So no pit stops in race 1, but there certainly will be in race 2. My phone needs to stop blowing up. Needs to come out of there, in fact, and go in there because it's a faster charger. Get in there. What are you thinking then, P-Gib? What's your thoughts on strategy? I don't know. I've not put the laps in. Put any laps in. Here's the dust bowl on screen. Had a fair bit of sampling of it today. See a little bit more of it. So we'll keep P-Gib slightly in touch with Blackwell 411, but not as much as he'd have liked. You come third or second, you're fourth in that one. Oh, P-Gib, you came third. You know what that means, don't you? Yeah. So top 3 from race 1 do carry over extra weight into race 2. It's a success ballast, so from the 1050 kilos they are as standard. Third place will take on 1085 kilos. Second place will take on 1097, and I believe first is 1107 kilos. So a little bit of extra weight to take into race 2 and start pretty much from the back. What's going on in the chat? Have you got any onboard footage of my brake issue? No, Graham Reeds, I didn't. No. No, sorry, mate. So settings for race 2 just been changed there. Same circuit. Reverse grid, tyre settings. So they can use super softs to hards. Tyre wear now set at times 8, fuel depletion times 6. They do start with a full tank. Let me just say no, sorry, to Mr. Graham Reeds. Oh. Not much on board footage in that race, to be honest. That's a little bit. Oh, you actually lose weight. You carry weight over from last week as well. Oh dear. So I think we're going to kick off about 1:15. Got to get your starts right then, P. Gibb. I would be practicing those right about now. Right, that's the coffee done. Will we see Eye Candy finish race 2? 15 minutes was hard enough. Half an hour with added tyre and fuel depletion. Pit stop strategies involved. We'll see. So who did we lose? We've still got 13 drivers in. They all crossed the line, I'm sure. There's only Obi-Wan that didn't. Luke was in the pits, but he was still on the screen. There was only 10 drivers. So we've got 13 in the room. Nice. Pajonski says he's going for a 9 stopper. How many laps did they get in on race 1? I didn't pay attention. Was it 15 minutes? 1 minute 15 and a lap. It was about 8 laps, 9 laps, something like that. It's about 1 every 2 laps then, Pajonski. I think that'll work. Don't put much fuel on though. Just put enough fuel on. Keep that car light. Right. I thought any second. Let's just go and find a Cutler. If he is in ghost mode. Where is he? Oh, he's not in the lobby yet. He's checking positions and making sure everybody has got the right weight wait on for race 2. There you go, everybody back. There's the shout. Practice those starts, P. Gibb. You're not going to get time now. There's Bajonski. Has he got his bunny hopping under control? Here we go then, race 2. Reverse grid. More strategy involved. Let's see how they get on. Just seeing how awkward this circuit can be. I think everyone pretty much had to go off-road. Half an hour of the same. Poor old Sir Eye Candy right at the front. He's got to try and defend from 11 other drivers going into turn 1, turn 2. Don't start in second, Eye Candy. That won't do you much good. It's not a bad start from him. Obi-Wan might have the slip on him though down the start. He has already up into top spot then for Obi-Wan. So Eye Candy closing up on him. Let's just quickly make sure that everyone's managed to get away all right. Dan KBL getting himself through to 3rd. TRG Rick to continue 4th. Rob Scott 5th. Has it kicked off? Yes, yes it has. So I've got to restart that one then, people. Yeah, it looked strange how suddenly people have got through. Let's turn a device off, shall we? So it does happen, the Gran Turismo lobbies aren't the strongest some days. You did have a ripper start there, Eye Candy. Did lose a position, but you did manage to get away well. You lucky boy. Back out the pits then, Pete Gibb. We just saw him coming through. Looks like D-Dot was stuck on the grid then. It does happen. It does also sometimes make people start in reverse. Look at all those awkward variants of this circuit. I don't think they're all available to us on here on Gran Turismo, but so just waiting for the last couple to drop out and then we'll go for a restart. Come along, Mr. Blackwell. Blackwell. Someone yeah, he's left. I was going to say, someone lobbed something at him as he drives past the pits. Obi-Wan has left the room. Don't leave the room, Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's back. Whew. All enter then so he can set the grid. It doesn't actually make a difference for me. Bajonski, the bunny hopper. Graham Reeds. So look, see if he's got some brake issues. Looks like it's resolved. So you have to hammer on the brakes till the hairpin or end of the circuit. We've already got cars off on this practice. Blackwell's going to have a couple of practice starts, is he? Or is he going to go for a reverse around the track like he did earlier on? Nope. A couple of little practice starts. So everyone in the room just waiting for Cutler to set the grid order. Ring 2. You've got softs on, not dirt tyres. Can anyone make it round here cleanly? Here we go then, 10 seconds. Let's hope we don't get any more glitchy issues. Race 2. So Eye Candy, can he get a good, as good a start as he did before? That's slightly better there, PlayStation. So the revs are up. Is he going to get away as well? It's not quite as good. Obi-Wan's already made the jump on him. Luke Doherty's already closing that gap up. So Eye Candy could be losing a few positions through turn 1. Cutler's slotting himself through into second as well. Eye Candy, where are you going? Someone else flipping neck. This driver's off all over the place. Who else we got off? So Eye Candy, someone off D-Dot there. Not sure if we saw P. Gibb, someone else off track, but so Eye Candy from front to pretty much back in a few turns, but he did go firing himself off track. So Obi-Wan now leads. Doherty into second, Cutler third, Ring 2 in second, fourth, because he's got 2 in his name. Rob Scott fifth. He's got Graham Reeds in 6th, Bajonski 7th, Dan KBL 8th, Blackwell 411 9th, and D-Dot in 10th, P. Gibb 11th, so I think it might have been P. Gibb we saw go off track early on. And he was looking for a couple of positions in front of Blackwell 411, and he's now a couple of positions behind him. Still, only a minute and a half gone, plenty of time left to try and get those times back up. Rob Scott then just running himself off track, so can Rob Scott get this position already up into 10th? Rob Scott trying to slot one back down the inside though. Oh, it's a good move, can he hold it? Graham Reeds has got it wrong in the hairpin, so P. Gibb keeps his 10th. Although he's lost the position to Rob Scott, he gains the position from Graham Reeds. Still battling it out side by side, those two. So Graham Reeds been off track, down in 11th, under pressure from Eye Candy. Obi-Wan now 2.5 seconds up front already. Luke Doherty, he's got himself second over Cutler. Luke's gone for the hard tyre of this circuit. Brave choice. He just seems to suffer with excess tyre wear, does Luke, for some reason. So Cutler on the super softs, so they will be a hell of a lot quicker than Luke's in front. They won't last anywhere near as long. Dan KBL up into third, TRG fourth, TRG in fifth, Blackwell sixth, almost pushing him around that final turn. Oh, run himself off track as well. Could put him under pressure from Bajonski. He's got the line through here. Can he hold it? Blackwell just comes back at him. Where are they gone? Oh, and then gets a little bit of a clout. Who was that off? Rob Scott? I think it might have been. Let's put him back under pressure from P. Gibb. P. Gibb comes through to take ninth. Does he round the outside? He does. P. Gibb into ninth, then still chasing D. Dot down. There was a little bit of dink between himself and D. Dot. Not sure if it was Rob Scott or D. Dot that dinked Bajonski, but he's pushed down to 10th right now. Maybe he needs to start using those bunny hops. So Graham Reeves just 3/4 of a second back. What has happened here? Luke Doherty, Obi-Wan's got himself all the way off the back of the pack. He's in 12th position. What has happened there? He's missed a corner or something. Dan has just taken first position off of Luke Doherty. He was holding top spot, but Dan KBL's just come through there to take that. Luke Doherty, Cutler's trying to slot himself down the inside as well and follow Dan KBL through. Luke Doherty chops across the front of him, holds onto that second. Dan KBL slow out of that turn. Luke coming back at him. Back up the inside. Oh, bunny hop from Luke Doherty as he hits a cone. On the heels of Dan KBL, a little bit of contact between himself and Cutler. Cutler backs off the throttle, but that's allowed TRG Rick 2 to come through. Tiny bit of contact there again. And now he's under pressure from Blackwell 411 in 5th. D. Dot 6th. Rob Scott in 7th. P. Gibb 8th. So slowly making his way through this field. P. Gibb. Bajonski 9th. Graham Reeds 10th. So Eye Candy 11th. Obi-Wan, even though he's right in the middle of this pile of cars, has been off track and looks like he's been almost reset a lap. He's in 12th in the middle of this pack. So what's going to happen? He's already crossed the line, so if that was going to change, it would have done. Saying give way to faster drivers, but he's no slouch. So race leader Dan KBL then 1.8 seconds from Luke Doherty. Luke's managing to hold on to that second quite well considering he's on the hards. TRG in third, Rick to continue in third. 3/4 of a second back from Luke. Cutler back into 4th. Rob Scott 5th. Blackwell trying to get past him. Dot in the background looking for a way through as well. Around the hairpin at the top, Rob Scott just losing his penalty. Back onto this long back straight. Oh, there is an option here if you're brave enough. But you've got to be brave. Blackwell just having to change course a little bit there to stop himself smashing into the back of Rob Scott. Thought about going down the inside, takes a tighter line through the final turn. Tiny bit of contact. 3 wide between himself and TRG Obi-Wan. So Blackwell through. Rob Scott past Obi-Wan, even though Obi-Wan's in 12th. Still battling it out into the hairpin. Tiny bit of contact between all 3 of them. Oh, Obi-Wan just catching Rob Scott, pushing him off track. So he's going to lose a position to D. Dot. No, he's not. He's going to come back down the inside. P. Gibb is making the most of this, though. He's now through up into 6th position. Piling the pressure on TRG. Goes a little bit deep through there, though. So TRG now putting the pressure on Blackwell. In the meantime, Dan KBL is just starting to disappear off down the road a little bit. 2.6 seconds from Luke Doherty. Luke's managed to keep over just under a second between himself and third place, Rick 2. Cutler still holding fourth, just half a second back from TRG. Rick 2 continue. A little bit of a penalty to lose as well. Bit of a gap back then to fifth place Blackwell, second back is coming down pretty quickly. Still got TRG Obi-Wan close as we just get run over by the camera. P. Gibb hot on his tail as well in sixth. So D-Dot just losing a tiny bit of time, 1.2 seconds off that fight. Obi-Wan off track then again. And Rob Scott in eighth. Graham Reed's coming in there a bit hot, almost taking off the rear bumper of Rob Scott through there, but in ninth. Pajonski then 10th. Been in the pits, a set of softs on board for Pajonski, so Eye Candy 11th. So although he's 40 seconds back, he's still holding 11th over this man, who I'm not sure what's happened. He's time shifted a whole lap back, and he's in 12th but in the middle of the pack having a good old fight. Interesting. So we're going to see a few drivers chuck themselves in the pits now. Tyre wear is starting to really show its ugly face. Dan KBL just comes through these last few tight turns. Doherty still holding onto that second as well. What tyres is he going to change to? Is he going to stay on those hards for a fair few laps, I'd have thought? Dan KBL stops out. Everyone else stops out as well. Not many decided this lap. A fair bit of wear on the softs and the super softs. Maybe it's just eye candies we were looking at. Obi-Wan does, he's still saying 12th, but he's still in the middle of the pack. So Dan KBL, he's had his gap reduced down to less than a second. Hard tyre for Luke Doherty is starting to work. Blackwell's got himself through into third position as well. Cut the fourth. P. Gibb into fifth. Is that Rick 2? Is that Rick 2 just taken out Cutler? I think it is. Sorry, not Rick 2, Obi-Wan. Now Obi-Wan left the room, I think. So, yes, he has. So, Cutler down in sixth. Let's just run through that order again. So, Dan KBL just holding into the pits this lap. Just holding top spot, not anymore. Luke Doherty's going to come through to take that. Blackwell 411 also comes in the pits now. P. Gibb stops out, he's on the soft tyre. Rob Scott stops out, he's on the medium tyre. Cutler also stops out, super softs on board for Cutler. Kept those in a good condition. Graham Reed stops out as well, racing mediums for him. We've got Luke Doherty and I'm not sure who that was coming out of the pits. We're bumper to bumper. Oh, Pajonski going off track. What happened to Pajonski? He stopped a couple of laps ago, but it's not the tyres that caused him to do that. I didn't see whether there was any collision between himself and any other driver. Maybe just trying to avoid a collision. So Luke Doherty on the hards then, now 4.7 seconds over P. Gibb. He's got a bit of wear on those softs. Rick 2's left the room now, oh dear. Both the TRG drivers dropping out then, sorry Andre. Not too sure what was going on with Obi-Wan though, with his weird lap thing. It was very strange. So Cutler fourth, under pressure. There's a big gaggle of cars here. Oh, getting smashed out of the way there, Graham Reed's a little bit. Bullied a tiny bit by Dan KBL. So now then, P. Gibb up into top spot. Doherty's in the pits. Blackwell 4-1-1, fighting it out with Cutler. Almost runs it off track there. So third for Blackwell, fourth for Cutler. Dan KBL trying to drive around the outside for that fourth position. That's going to be a good old fight coming out of there between those two. Just holds the inside line. Cutler runs a little bit off track, so has to relinquish that position to Dan. Graham Reed's then still holding 6. So these drivers in front yet to stop. Blackwell 4-1-1 picking up penalties all over the place. Oh, Luke Doherty comes sliding one down the inside of Graham Reed, as does Pajonski. Graham's getting a good old beating up here. Right, Pete Gibb now race leader on the softs. He's got 2 seconds over Rob Scott, who's also not stopped on the mediums. Rob Scott thinks he can, Pete Gibbs thinks he can still put in some decent lap times on those. Yeah, he's equaling his second lap. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong player. Pete Gibb. Yeah, he's equaling his second and third lap sort of times. 1:18 still. Rob Scott very similar. Blackwell 4-1-1. He's off track now. That's going to take him an awful long time to get back on and do it cleanly without taking out anyone else. He just gets himself back on in front of Graham Reed, so all the way down to 7th then for Blackwell 4-1-1. So P. Gibb then, closest championship rival. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, Andre. Obviously, Obi-Wan had got some issues going on and then fired himself off track, ended up taking Cutler out, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Rick 2. Maybe just this course getting the better of him. It is an awkward one. I know Luke Doherty's already said he's fed up with this one. So P. Gibbs still leading. Who's going to be the first out of these two to stop? P. Gibbs stops out. Rob Scott stops out. Dan KBL, first of the drivers who have stopped. See, 5.4 seconds back. 15 minutes remaining to this one. Most drivers look like they've got plenty of fuel left to go as well. Luke Doherty holding 4th. Come out on a set of medium tyres for his second stint. Blackwell 4-1-1 back up into 5th then. A couple of drivers pitting, Graham Reeds and Cutler. On those super softs. Pajonski 6th. A lot of wear on his softs now. Cutler back out of the pits. Another set of softs on board for him. Graham Reed's also coming out, fresh set of mediums for him. Eye Candy, fresh set of softs on board for him. Sitting in 10th, yes, we have lost the 2 TRG drivers then. Only 10 drivers left in the lobby. Rob Scott on those medium tyres has managed to get his way past P. Gibb. Starting to show the wear now then. Second place driver. Still, there's plenty of wear on those mediums of Rob Scott's. I would expect they're both going to come in the pits now. P. Gibb decides against it. He's stopping out on those softs. Dan KBL then gets himself up into 2nd, but he's still got 2.2 back. He's gained a lot of time on P. Gibb. Luke Doherty then on the mediums. He's another 4 seconds back, holding 3rd. Blackwell 4-1-1 4th. A little bit of wear starting to show on those super softs. They will wear out pretty quick. Rob Scott back out the pits then. Medium tyres on board for him. Cutler comes out in 6th. Sorry, just having a bit of a punch up with Pajonski as he came out. Pajonski 7th, Graham Reed's 8th. D-Dot in the pits. Taking on board fuel, there was a lot of tyre wear on there. I'm not sure why he came in for tyres. Eye Candy. So not doing quite so bad this time, only 51 seconds down, halfway through. I think he was way over a minute or so in race 1. race leader. It's got to be on for P. Gibb. He's struggled last few laps, but yeah, could definitely be on for P. Gibb. Rob Scott in 5th. I've not put my mic in front of my mouth. Sorry if you couldn't hear that. I think the win could be on for P. Gibb here if he plays his cards right. So Rob Scott 5th, Cutler 6th. Big gap to Rob Scott in front, 13.9 seconds. He's got Podjonski chasing him down. So similar strategies between these two, both on a reasonably worn set of, I say reasonably, there's not a lot of wear on those softs. Slightly different amounts of fuel on board. Oh, Podjonski looking to go around the outside. Had to slam the brakes on though to stop himself running off track. Still piling the pressure on Cutler though for that 7th position. Carries good speed through there. He's putting that pressure on Cutler. Can he carry the speed through this next section? Oh, just trying to get his nose down the inside. Nowhere for him to go though. Closes back up on Cutler. Goes for a totally different line of Cutler's. Oh, thought he'd run himself off track then. It's so wide through the hairpin. But now gets a good run down this back straight. Although Podjonski's actually saying, here you go mate, have a little tiny nudge. Let's try and catch these guys back up. So Luke Doherty back in the pits now. And KBL holding 5.5 seconds from now 2nd place Blackwell, who is literally out of fuel, so we're going to see him stop. P. Gibb has already got that gap down to 1.5 seconds. The gap between himself and race leader is 7 seconds. Has he played a blinder, P. Gibb? So Dan KBL could stop out for a couple more laps, but it would only be a couple. May even see him attempt coming in. Dukes, evening brother. You may even see him come in at the end of this lap. We'll see, he might attempt. He's got a fair chunk of wear on those tyres though. His lap times are looking a bit slow. Does he come in? Yes he does. So Blackwell 411, he's going to come in as well. So that releases P. Gibb back into race lead. And he's got plenty of fuel and plenty of tyres on board. It's all about where Blackwell 411 and Dan KBL come back out the pits. So, what's it looking like now? P. Gibb with tints over 8 minutes to go has now got 10.1 seconds over Rob Scott in 2nd place. So P. Gibb's on a fresh set of softs, Rob Scott on another set of mediums. Dan KBL back out on a fresh set of softs for 3rd. Luke Doherty has managed to get himself out in between Dan KBL and Blackwell, so 4th position for him. Set of mediums on board as well, so we'll see what Luke can do with those. 3.2 back from Dan, bit of work to try and get that 3rd place back, and he's got to try and defend from a very fast Blackwell 411. Oh, he's got it wrong through there, Luke, so he's already lost that position. Gone a bit deep into that top hairpin. So Podjonski in 6th, managed to make his way past Cutler, who's also off track. Same place we've just seen Luke Doherty. The hairpin scrubs his tyres then. 7th position for Cutler, 8th for Graham Reeds. Does look like he's got bullied tonight, as poor Graham. It's not fair, leave him alone. So D-Dot 9th, 8.6 back from Graham. And then Sir I Candy, still not doing too bad. Actually only 42 seconds down from guy in front. He was over a minute after 15 minutes in race 1, so fair play to you, Sir I Candy, getting better for sure. Right, Pete Gibb Lost a second. 6.5 minutes to go. It's going to be close. Dan KBL and Rob Scott battling it out though. That might just give P. Gibb a little bit of a respite if these two start kicking off. So it's soft versus medium. So Dan KBL should be able to hold this position. Keep the speed out the corners, carry more speed in. So Blackwell 411, 3.9 seconds down in fourth. Luke Doherty after his off-track action in fifth, 5.3 seconds down. Podjonski sixth. Big gaps either side of him now. Just comes in for a set of tyres. Let's see where Cutler, we have just seen him drive himself off track as well. He's got a fresh set of super softs on board, so just coming up to this very last section. Is Podjonski going to get out before him? Gets released now. It looks like he's going to hold on to that six. There he is, Cutler, just coming past pit exit now then. 7th place for him. Eye Candy going for some off-roading. Graham Reed's 8th. D-Dot 9th. So Eye Candy looks like he's just been in the pits, trying to avoid Cutler on the way out, driven himself into the sand. Right, under 5 minutes to go. 7.2 second lead. Dan KBL now the second place driver. A bit of a penalty he's got to lose. Got to try and keep those softs in good order as well. Second, third and fourth just coming down the start finish straight. So is P. Gibb going to start closing up on back markers as well and hinder his progress. 5.4 second lead. And KBL wants that top spot back. Got to be so careful around this Willow Springs circuit. As the 4th place driver, now 2.3 seconds back, so he's also charging for a podium at the end of this one. See if he can keep those super softs in good order for the next few laps. So Luke Doherty comfortably in 5th at the minute, 22 seconds then behind to Podjonski. Almost 10 seconds back to Cutler in 7th. Graham Reed's another 10.5 seconds back. D-Dot 6.7 seconds back. That's Eye Candy. He's a minute back from D-Dot. Okay, P. Gibb, 3 minutes to go. He's got a 3-second lead. See behind, there's Dan KBL just following him through. Rob Scott in the background as well. Needs to keep that 3 seconds lead. Under 3 minutes to go. He's got this lap and 2 more, I would expect. Pulled a bit more time from Rob Scott as well as Dan KBL, so gets himself slightly out of threat. Rob Scott has now got a threatening Blackwell 411 closing up on him, less than a second back. Down this back straight. Not quite able to close the gap back up, although Blackwell does seem to be able to carry a lot of speed through that section. But Rob Scott equals him. Loses a little bit through there. Blackwell just trying to drop his penalty as well. He still kept that gap to less than a second though. P. Gibb then gap to 2.3 seconds. So the softs starting to show their wear. Softs on Dan KBL's car in pretty much the same conditions, so P. Gibb's done a really good job of holding those for a whole half a race. Everyone else has taken 2 stops, P. Gibb taken 1. Still got 2.5 seconds lead. We'll see the end of this lap and 1 more. Can he hold on to it? Dan KBL second. Rob Scott third, still being hounded by Blackwell 411. Still trying. Are you picking up penalties and dropping them, but keeping in touch with Rob Scott? Earth, how are you doing that? On worn out super softs as well. How? So into this last section again. Both Rob and Blackwell keeping clean through there. Okay, back onto this start finish straight. This will become final lap then. P. Gibb takes us onto this last one then. 1.6 second lead then from Dan KBL. Can he hold it around this last lap? Don't throw it away now. Rob Scott still holding third as well. Blackwell still trying to drop his penalty. Dan KBL's got a little bit of penalty to lose as well. Luke Doherty still holding fifth comfortably. It's about 20 seconds either way. Pachonsky sixth. Graham Reed seventh. D-Dot in eighth. Cutler ninth. And Eye Candy 10th. So Cutler all the way down in ninth and chucking it in there for Eye Candy is what we like to see. P. Gibb round that top hairpin. Gap still at 1.7 seconds, almost out of fuel as well. P. Gibb down this back straight. There is Dan KBL in the background. Nice and calmly through there for P. Gibb, doesn't want to throw it away. I think we have got a driver driving off-road in the background. That might be Pachonsky. So just this final turn to go. Doesn't drive it off and into the pit wall. So he's going to take the race win then. P. Gibb taking first, Dan KBL second, Blackwell 411 takes third in the end. Rob Scott, oh no, so it's penalty cost him then. Rob Scott actually taking that position. Luke Doherty is going to come home fifth. Just around that final turn. Are you out of fuel, Luke? No. Fifth for Luke then. Pachonsky's got a few turns to go. Graham Reed has finished. D-Dot has finished. So 7th for Graham, 8th for D-Dot, 9th for Cutler, and 10th for Eye Candy. And we just wait for Pachonsky to come through and take that final position. 6th place. There it is. Yeah, awkward circuit this one. Obviously not some of the drivers' favourites. Yeah, well driven there, P. Gibb. Well driven. One stop in that one was a tough call to make. It worked out for you. Good job. Blackwell in 4th as well, so that'll benefit you in the championship standings. Well, some good racing, wasn't it, Dukes? Some good racing. P. Gibb also carrying extra weight over from race 1 as well. Dan KBL, Blackwell and P. Gibb actually, so yeah, well driven. All three of you. Shame about the TRG boys. Like I say, I'm not too sure what happened to them. There's all sorts of weirdness going on with Obi-Wan. See a couple of cars off in the Nether Realm, and all of a sudden Obi-Wan had gone from mid-pack 5th or something to 12th, but he was still 5th, 6th. It looked like he'd been reset a lap or something. It's a bit of a shame, and then yeah, Rick to continue disappeared as well. So shame, but still some good racing to be had there. Cutler saying that's his favourite track now. Cutler, I think you've seen you off track more than so Eye Candy. But that was round 9 of Tanso Racing's CHewitt Racing Mini Cooper Cup. That was Willow Springs International Raceway, the streets of Willow. I think people were calling it a go-kart track earlier on in the week. It's not far off it. So what have I got coming up? Nothing on tomorrow night. We've got the MRC Team Oliver Racing GR3 League on Wednesday. That's at 8:30. It's the finals from Barcelona. So come and check that out, 8:30 on Wednesdays. Thursdays, I've still not had 100% confirmation if we're running the Drift League with the P1 boys. That'll be interesting. Just me talking about people going sideways. And that's Thursday, that's at 9 o'clock. Then Friday at 9 o'clock, we've got I think it's the final round of the GTTCC. I could be lying. So that's 9 o'clock, 50-minute quali and 2 half-hour races for you guys. In that one, nothing on Saturday night, and then we're back Sunday night for, well, maybe the TANSO racing NI Saloons, which we attempted Sunday night, but not quite enough interest. So they postponed it for now, but then 9 o'clock, so that would be 8 o'clock if it's on, and 9 o'clock we continue on with P1RC's BMW M3 GR3 League, so that's Sunday night 9 o'clock, and then back next week, I think, for the final round of this. Don't know where that's from. So that's what we got coming up in the next week. In fact, I've not told you about that. What are we on today? Monday. Next Tuesday, I may as well remind you now. Next Tuesday, I can't remember what time. I'm going to say 8:30. I could be lying. Might be 9 o'clock. We've got the Stewie Max special going on. So it's our dear friend Stewie Max's birthday, and we're having a little special treat lobby special edition thing. So 2 lobbies running. There's going to be a P1 lobby running and an MRC lobby running. And I think the top 7 from each lobby are going to go through to a single lobby. And then we're going to have joint commentary. I think it's myself and JRP, JRPG, JRGP, JPR, RPGP, GPR. I don't know. It's a few letters and then P. I forget. That's what happens. Stop acronyming your name, people. That's like NRT Bobby. I've still not figured that one out. So yes, that's Tuesday the 9th. Like I say, it could be 8:30, it could be 9 o'clock. I'll get some information out to you lot. Like I say, 2 lobbies, both commentated over, and then when those 2 lobbies are done, we all join lobbies and then kick it off again for another race or 2. Okay, Cutler just letting me know it's Goodwood next. That's another very similar circuit. Plenty of off-roading to be had there as well. So, you know what's coming up in the next week. If you fancy helping my channel out, get yourselves over to buymeacoffee.com/dartsmoker. Drop a little donation if you can. Appreciated. Thank you very much. Other than that, I hope you've liked what you've watched. Give it a like, give it a subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dartsmoker. I'm out of here.